Today we will go for another part of a large intestine that is called as ascending colon. So ascending colon, it is the one which will be ascending from the ending of the cecum. So this is what the cecum, from it will be going to ascend upwards in the right lumbar region. So thereby it is called as a what? Ascending colon. So this ascending colon, it is having a length of something about 15 centimeter. Now this you can say ascending colon starts from the ending of cecum. It runs all the way upwards in the right lumbar region. Then when it comes at the level of the right hypochondriac region, under surface of the right lobe of the, under surface of the, you can say, right lobe of the liver, it will be going to turn with having a little angulation. This angulation is not, you can say, almost all triangular in look, but it is a little bit having a water that of the long axis of the water that of the ascending colonna and the long axis of that of the transverse colonna. It is almost all very close nearby to the right angle, but not exactly right angle. So, but this acuteness is not that acute angle in comparison with the what left colic bend. So ascending colon will be going to end into the right colic flexure. Flexure means bend. This is also called as a hepatic flexure because it will be there at the level of the what under surface of the right lobe of the liver, hence it is called as like that. So now coming to the water, this you can say ascending colon will be having a characters of the water that of the you can say all the large intestine, as because it will be part of the large intestine. So it will be having a circulations. They are the in one puckered part of the water, external portion of the water that of the you can say ascending colon. Apart from that, it will be having a water that of the appendages, epiploicae. These are the water that of the you can say fatty granules which are present on the water that of the peritoneal portion, which will be covering that of the you can say ascending colon, which is a part of a large intestine. Apart from that, you will be going to have a tinea coli. Now these tinea coli are nothing but they are the continuing part of that of the you can say cecal portion, which will be situated one anterior and two you can say on either side, that is laterally, and you can say medially, that what we say as a water posterolaterally and the posteromedially you will be having. So this will be the thing ascending. So ascending colon ends in the right colic flexure. So now after having had this or after having understood this you can say ascending colon, what are all the things are there you can say related to. So in order to understand that, you have to take a cut section in any of the you can say part of the ascending colon, and then you have to keep it like this. So this may be the water ascending colon for the purpose of explanation. So then you divide that thing as an arbitrary anterior and then posterior. This may be the what medial here. So this may be the lateral. So represent that thing now here. This is the anterior. This is the posterior. This is the lateral. This may be the medial, or you can say it is the right lateral. So it may be the left lateral for our understanding part. Now let us will go to the what that of the you can say here in front. In front it is related to the water that of the parietal part of the peritoneum and the water that of the visceral part of the peritoneum. Visceral part of the peritoneum, which will be covering the water that of the ascending colon after getting formed. That of the you can say parietal portion covering the internal aspect of the posterior abdominal wall when it is reaching to the water. Means right lumbar region. So this is the parietal. Visceral, the right part of the water that of the mesentery when it will be covering the water, all the retroperitoneal structure, and then it is extending here. So this will be the thing. After this you will be going to have the water that of the, this is what is the coils of small intestine, especially the jejunum, and small portion of the water that of the ileum. Those will be there. Then apart from that, you will be going to get related to that of the what one you can say portion which will be coming from high up from the greater curvature of the stomach. So this may be the water greater omentum and the content of greater omentum. Now greater omentum contents are the fat areolar tissues, sympathetic and the parasympathetic nerve filaments. Then the water that of the lymph vessels, then right gastroepiploic artery, left gastroepiploic arteries, right gastroepiploic vein, left gastroepiploic vein, fat and areolar tissues, they are there in this contents of greater omentum. After having had this, now you have to go to the what behind. Now behind you will be having a one you can say nerve. That nerve is said to be as the what lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. Then the what right saw major. Then you will be having what is said to be as the iliacus. Iliacus. Then fascia covering this was major fascia. Then fascia covering the water that of the iliacus, iliac fascia, fat, areolar tissues. Then now you will be having a one pouch. That pouch which will be extending from lateral, very small portion, paracolic pouch. This paracolic pouch is more on the lateral and more on the medial, which will be coming later. So those are the things that what you will be going to get. Now apart from that, you will be having what is said to be as one small portion will be also there. That small portion is the quadratus lumborum muscle. Fascia covering this quadratus lumborum. Fascia covering the quadratus lumborum. So these are the posterior relations. Now you will be going to have a lateral relation. Lateral relation of the ascending colon. It will be the water that of the you can say parietal part of the water that of the pleura, parietal part of the water that of the peritoneum, then the water that of the visceral part of the peritoneum, then definitely which you had got here, this is the water paracolic pouch, that water right. Then you will be going to have here once again the water that of the parietal part of the peritoneum, visceral part of the be going to get into the your ascending colon. So this is the ascending colon relations. So this may be the what relation of ascending colon. This is what how you have to represent the thing in the what relation way. Now you will be going to get, after having had this, you have to go to the water. Definitely the internal of this, same as that of the water, that of the, where you can say other part of the water, that of the large intestine, which you will be going to deal bit later, or which has been dealt partially here. So you will be going to have the water internal. You take a cut section and it will be going to get appear like this. So it is a cut edge of the water, that of the ascending colon. Here you have got the mucosal folds. Now these mucosal folds are not so much so in comparison with the water internal of the water, that of the small intestine, but they are there here and there. You will be going to find they are there, no doubt, but not so. You know how you will be going to get the water mucosal flora of jejunum, duodenum, and even the stomach. So that you will be not going to get into this, but you will be having a colonic flora, mucosal. So this will be the thing internal, nothing more. Then you will be going to get the water. You have to deal about, after this internal, what must be the water peritoneal relation. Peritoneal relation for this ascending colon, the anterior part of the water, that of the ascending colon, definitely it will be going to cover by the water parietal and the water. Parietal it will be there, it will get attached, and then it will be going to get cover the water, entire portion of the water, that of ascending colon. Then it is becoming as a water retroperitoneal organ part on either side of the water, that of the abdominal cavity in lumbar regions. Then you have got the water, that of the visceral. Visceral will be also going to run in front. Then you will be having on either side, right side and left side, you have got the water parietal and the water visceral will be going to cover, that is right laterally and the medially or left. Then you will be going to have the water, except posterior portion of the ascending colon will be going to come directly in contact with the water anterior aspect of the posterior abdominal wall, especially the transverse abdominis, very small portion. So that is the thing. Now so there here posterior relation you can add transverse abdominis, ABD, that will be also going to come, posterior relation I had forgotten. And the fasciae covering the water, that of the, that is called as the transversalis fasciae. That also you have to add into that relation wise. Then you will be going to have the water pouches. Now those pouches are the water right and left paracolic pouch. So this is what the peritoneal relation before internal. Internal of the water column, just I had told the same thing, no change in that. Then you will be going to get the water blood supply. Blood supply for the water, that of the ascending colon, it is by iliocolic artery. Now this iliocolic artery is the branch of that of the, where you can say, superior mesenteric artery. Now another artery will be there for the blood supply. Now that is what is said to be as the right colic artery. Right colic artery. Now this right colic artery is also the branch of that of the cancer superior mesenteric artery. So by these main trunk, the whole length caliber of the water, that of the ascending colon, will be going to get supplied. Those are called as the what colonic arteries, especially for the ascending. So these you can say arteries will be going to have the water primary branch, secondary branch, tertiary branch, unnamed, then into the what colonic branches. Colonic branches. Now these colonic branches, they will be the entering into the water serosal layer, subserosal layer, muscular layer, then the water that of the you can say submucous, and then the mucus, so thereby it will be supplying. The same thing it will be by the water ileocolic, primary, secondary, tertiary. Now these tertiary are the unnamed. Unnamed will be going to enter into the water serosal coat, then it will be supplying to the what subserosal, subserosal to the muscular, muscular outer and the inner, outer longitudinal, inner circular, and then into the what submucous, submucous into the what mucosal. So like that way it is by this. So this is what the blood supply. Now the blood supply, after that you will be going to get the what venous drainage. Venous drainage is by the water that of the colonic veins. Colonic veins. Now these colonic veins, they drain the deoxygenated blood from the water that of the entire length and the diameter of that of the ascending colon, and then it will be going to go into the first colonic, then into the water unnamed into the water that of the you can say primary, then into the secondary, then into the water tertiary, then it goes into the water ileocolic vein, ileocolic into the water it opens into the superior mesenteric vein. Now that superior mesenteric vein is the one part by this. Now the same pattern, colonic veins, from the colonic unnamed into the water tertiary, then into the water secondary, then into the primary. Now this primary goes into the water that of the right colic veins. Right colic vein is also going to get open into the water superior mesenteric vein. Then you have got the water that of the lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage of the water that of the you can say ascending colon is by the water ileocolic, I mean to say colic, superficial and deep lymph vessels, lymph nodes. Then it goes into the water ileocolic veins, ileocolic group of lymph nodes, then into the what right colic group of lymph nodes and the lymph vessels, then it goes into the what superior mesenteric lymph nodes, then into the what mesenteric group of lymph vessels and the lymph nodes, then it goes into the what aortic into the cisterna chyli via celiac, right. So it goes into the, this is what the lymphatic drainage. Now you will be, so lymphatic will be the water that of the purple. So red will be the arterial. So you will be going to get into this. Now after having that, you have got a sympathetic and the parasympathetic is the nerve supply for the water that of ascending colon. Sympathetic is the bodily segmented part. Bodily segmented part is the water that of the spinal nerve, which will be ranging from the water that of the ending of the right lumbar and the ending of the water that of the you can say right hypochondriac. So there will be a lumbar spinal. Now that lumbar spinal, when it will be going to come on the right side, soon after you can say coming out, and then earlier to the water coming out from the what intervertebral foramina, there will be a what one ganglion. That ganglion is called as the sympathetic ganglion. Now after having had that, it will be going to get supplied to the water this particular part by the water sympathetic. Then the parasympathetic is the water that of the vagus. So parasympathetic, when it will be there will be a water right vagus, left vagus. Left vagus it will be going to come into the water front portion, while the left vagus it will be going to come into the front, right vagus it will be going to get behind, then it will be going to get supplied to the water, goes into the water esophageal orifice in the diaphragm, so it will be going to descend all the way downwards, then it will be going to have the water when it will be coming, and at the level where this ascending colon will be there, so at that point it will be going to have joining to that of the water spinal, that earlier to the what that of the sympathetic gangliona, and then after the sympathetic gangliona, pre and the post ganglionic fibers, grey and white ramiconectants, after joining that, it will be going to give rise to the what, some fluxes, very fine filaments. Now those are called as the autonomic. Now this autonomic at this particular part, it is definitely by the what that of the, you can say, colonic fluxes of nerves. Now these colonic fluxes of nerves are derived from that of the mesenteric fluxes of the nerves, which are there in the water that of the mesentery. Now that will be going to have the water same ileocolic and the water right colic fluxes. They will be going to get supplied to this, you can say, ascending colon. Now after having had this, now you have to go to the water. The main thing you have to go for this is the what, histology. Histology will be going to deal entirely the what, colonic histology, including the cecum at one lot. So almost all the same structures are there, that what cecum or what the other things are there, or what you have already done, those are the what at the level of the what, internal. So one is the what that of the, you can say, serous, another is the subserous, muscular, outer longitudinal, inner circular, and then you will be having what is said to be as submucous and then mucus. They are all there throughout the colon, same internal, the same it will be there at the time of explanation. Histology same all throughout. So it will be going to deal histology of the colon in a separate, not only for the water cecum, beginning of the large intestine, along with the other parts, abdominal part of the colon. So we will keep it aside. Now let us go to the water that of the embryology or the development. The development of the water that of the ascending colon is by midgut. Midgut. Now what is this midgut ultimately? Ultimately the midgut is nothing but, it is the one gut which will be a part of the water that of the entire gut tube. Means the development of that of the, where you can say, whole GI. Whole GI is dividing into the foregutta, midgutta, hindgutta. So this will be the water by the midgut. Why the question? Why this has to be by the midgut? Because it is supplied by the what branch of that of the, you can say, superior mesenteric artery. And definitely the vice versa is also true. What are the structures which are going to develop by the what midgut? They have to have the supply by the what superior mesenteric artery, because it is developed from the midgut. Both the way, the organs which are developing from the what, that of the midgut, they have to have the what, blood supply by the superior mesenteric artery. And what are the superior mesenteric artery? Their branches it will be going to supply to the organs which are developed along the midgut. That will be the, definitely by that gut tube only it will be going to get developed embryologically in the fetal life. So this is what the thing. Now you will be going to get the applied anatomy. Applied anatomy of the water that of the, you can say, colon ascending is called as a water colitis. Colitis. Maybe this colitis, as it is a cecum, it is the beginning of large intestine. Inflammation of the cecum is also there. Old terminology for that is called as a cecitis. Here it is called as ascending colitis, because it is ascending, it is a part of it. So that is tuberculosis of the water that of the colon, TB of colon, ascending colon TB. So that is the thing. Cancer of the water that of the ascending colon, that may be the malignancy or any tumor. So those are the things that what you will be going to get. Colitis means inflammation of the mucosal lining or the mucosal coat. So with this, ascending colon is finished.